Yeah, man, we building one spiritual house, not two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight different spiritual houses, man. Shalom, this is the brother Badia back here once again. Before I get started, like always, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah Bahashem, Rachahakodash. The bonus to my teachers, the elder apostles of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the hopeful elect. This is the book of 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 5. Ye also, as lively stones, are built up a spiritual house. No, two spiritual houses, three spiritual houses, four spiritual houses, 10 different spiritual houses. Ye also, as lively stones, are built up a spiritual house. So these lively stones are a part of this one house, all right, this one body. Ye also, as lively stones, are built up a spiritual house and holy priesthood, 10 different priesthoods, 11 different priesthoods, 3 different priesthoods, are built up a spiritual house and holy priesthood to offer up spiritual sacrifices acceptable to the Most High Yahweh by Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, right? And when you look at this spiritual house that we're building as one body through the correct doctrine that we learned from the elders of Great Millstone through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shah, we're offering up spiritual sacrifices. Just like we used to offer up fleshly sacrifices, carnal sacrifices in the first tabernacle that was set up by Moses in the Levitical priesthood, all right, at the altar in the Holy of Holies, right? Did we have, as a nation of Israel, did we have 5 different tabernacles set up? Did we have 10 different tabernacles set up after we left Egypt, right? When the temple of Solomon, when Solomon had the temple built, did Solomon have 3 different temples built, 4 different temples built, 5 different temples built around the nation? Why am I saying this? Because you'll have guys come amongst the body and you'll perceive them to be lively stones. And for a time, they are building. All right, they are building. They are adding to the flock. They are adding to the body. All right. But somewhere along the line, some of these guys begin to say, hey, y'all building wrong. All right. The men that taught us how to build this house taught us wrong. Right. And I don't like it. So I'm leaving. And this is how the house should be built. This late in the game, you got guys saying that the house has been built wrong. Right? It's like if you have a job as an architect or a builder, or you work on like a construction floor or whatever, and it's your first day on the job, right? And you walking in and, you know, somebody that's been there for some years is showing you around and teaching you the trades. And meanwhile, while you're being shown around by this guy that's been in for some years, he's showing you the different areas. He's showing you the break room, right? He's showing you the tricks of the trade, right? You have some other guy. Meanwhile, you got some other guy that comes up and say, look, man, before you start working this job, I just want to let you know the motherfuckers in charge here, they some wicked niggas. And this whole shit they building, right, is wrong. The blueprint wrong. Everything wrong, right? And you coming in as a new dude, you like, huh? Now you're confused. now you got a lot of questions, right? Because you got this one guy on one hand, he's been here for some years, showing you the ropes, all right? That was showed to him before when he was a new guy. But then on the other hand, you got another guy that's been in some years that's now he's saying everything here is off, everything here is wrong, even though the building's almost built. He's telling you, look, man, forsake what these dudes are talking about, all right? Don't follow these guys, okay? Let's go to the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 1 Corinthians chapter 14, because as a leader amongst the body, and if you've been in for enough years, you're supposed to know that the flock is the most important thing. Not your opinions, not your feelings, right? Not every gripe that you have, but being an example to the flock of how they should conduct themselves. Rather, if you yourself disagree with certain things that are going on, you're not going to agree with everything that goes on the work floor. You're not going to agree with every order that comes down from the higher ups. But to get the job done, your ass is going to work because they paying you, right? And you're not in charge of it. This ain't your house that we building, man. No matter how many years you've been in, you're just a worker like the rest of us. There's positions, there's positions higher than other positions, but we're all still workers for the same goal to get this house built up, for the owner of the house to arrive to a house that's been built right. So knowing that you've been in for years and you still have newer guys coming in and you still have young guys in, what example are you supposed to be setting? Should you be causing confusion amongst them? Oh, y'all need to find out for yourselves, and or should you just do the work and let the Lord iron out whatever issues you deem is so wrong that you have to speak about the body in such a way that causes confusion, right? And questions that don't administer edification, man. This is 1 Corinthians, the 14th chapter. And let's go down to verse 33. And then we're gonna go back up. It says, "For the Most High is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all the churches of the saints." Right? So are you causing confusion in the church? Are you causing confusion on the work floor? Right? Are you teaching that the blueprint is wrong? Right? Or are you nitpicking at every little thing? This guy said this, but he's doing that. Look what he's doing over here. Look what he's doing over there. You got brothers turning their head all over the place when they're supposed to be concentrating on their work. When they're supposed to be concentrating on their growth. All right? Let's go back up in 1 Corinthians chapter 14. And let's read verse 3 this time. And this is going to be straight to the point. It says, "But he that prophesieth speaketh unto men to edification and exhortation and comfort." Now, you have these guys that are telling you their gripes, all right, and the problems that they had, which keep in mind, they didn't bring these problems to the forefront when they were amongst the body. They did it after they left or after they got kicked out or fired off the job. Now they have all these gripes and issues. But are these gripes and issues that you're putting out amongst the body, is it edifying them? Or is it bringing dissension, confusion, right? Are you being a good example to the flock, or are you just so hyped on your opinion and your position and your point? You just want to get your point across. You need to be right. You need to be seen as right. And that's what you see a lot of time with these guys, right? They have to get their point across. And they don't realize that then you're not bigger than the program. You're not bigger than the project. You're not bigger than the job that's getting done. If that was the case, no building would ever get built. If everybody on the job site was deciding I'm bigger than the job, the building would never get built. It need to be done like this. It need to be done like this. It need to be done like this right here. You know why buildings get built, right? You know why buildings get built and people will follow the order even if they may have issues? Because they know they're going to get a paycheck. And, they know they're going to get paid every 2 weeks or every week, however the paycheck get issued out. But see, we're going to get paid for doing this, for building this spiritual house too. But see, since you're not getting that paycheck right now, you acting a fool, right? Now, when you go into that word edification, edification in the blue letter, what does it mean, man? What does that word edification mean? Let's see. In the Greek here, all right, oikodome, all right, oikodome, I believe I'm saying that right, and it says the act of building up, the act of building up. So when you're edifying someone, you're building them up. Just like in the beginning, I likened to a new guy, the new employee that walks on the job site, and he's getting escorted around, for lack of a better word. He's getting shown around the job place by a guy that's been there years before him. This guy is edifying him on the job. He's building him up, giving him confidence to do the job. And then once he starts the job, you may have another guy that's been there for a long time, 20 years, and they become like friends. He becomes like his elder on the job, and he shows him the tricks of the trade. He shows him, how to do things faster and smarter. He's edifying him on the job. Now, you come along gossiping and talking about every little thing that's wrong with the leadership, but the building still got to get built. The building still needs to get built. So you're not edifying at that point. You're not building that brother up now. Now you're just distracting that brother and causing confusion. Because at the end of the day, what you're saying is really pointless. Because if it is that bad, the Lord will work it out. But the building still got to get built. We just late in the game, right? We just late in the game to the Lord coming back to see his house be built. And you saying that everything is a muck around here. That's not edification. The building still got to get built. So instead of you trying to prove your point, right? Your point just got to be right. You just got to be heard. Jake always want to be heard. Jake don't ever want to shut the fuck. That's Jake's biggest problem. They talk too goddamn much. That's why E don't take you niggas seriously, because you just talk. You never about action. Instead of you just trying to get your point across, let this brother keep his head on the prize and let him work, man. Let these brothers that are following the men before them, just let them follow. Let them be sheep, right? Let the shepherds lead them, man. Stop distracting them with trivial matters that don't matter. Because the house gonna get built, and they gotta get built, regardless of how you feel, man. And a spiritual house. Not your spiritual house, not their spiritual house, not everybody different spiritual house, man. See, you know what pride does? Pride blinds you, man. It makes you sound foolish. Whenever you're so engulfed in your ego and your point and bringing your point across, you're blinded to a lot of other things. You're blinded to the wrongs you've done to brothers, right? You don't bring up, you totally throw out the window the foolish actions that you've done because you just focus on this point that you want to bring across. Right? This is 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 1. The elders which are among you I exhort, who am also an elder, and witness of the sufferings of Yahushua HaMashiach, and also a partaker of the glory that shall be revealed. So there's elders amongst us, which means there's order. All right? For any guy that's saying there ain't no order that's set up right now, the only order is the order of the elect. And the order of the elect is going to be set up in the kingdom. You sound like a fool because of your pride, man. We don't even know exactly who the elect are. So how you know you under the right order? The Lord set up matter of fact, every camp you see out here has an order, whether you agree with it or not. IUIC has an order. ISUPK has order, right? GOCC, all these camps. Us over here at Great Millstone, we have an order. But what order is the Lord dealing with? Right? Even when you read what I'm reading right now from the book of Peter, you go back to the time of the ancient Roman Empire. E was ruling then too. And they had order amongst the churches. Right? Was not Peter ahead? Was not he made the rock? That's order. Verse 2. Feed the flock of Yahweh, which is among you, taking the oversight thereof. Right? Finish reading. It says, feed the flock of Yahweh, which is among you, taking the oversight thereof, not by constraint, right? Not being forced to do it, but willingly, not for filthy lucre, but of a ready mind. Verse 3. Neither as being lords over Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh's heritage, but being ensamples to the flock, right? So you're supposed to be an example to the flock. What are some of those examples? Humility, right? Suffering wrongly when you feel that you've been wrong. What about those? See, those traits just get thrown out the window when it's something you don't agree with. If it ain't edifying the body, if it ain't building up the body, why are you so stressed on making this point across, putting your point across, man? It's to feed your pride and your ego. Verse 4. And when the chief shepherd shall appear, ye shall receive a crown of glory that fadeth not away. So once the house is built, you're going to get that paycheck. Because the owner of the house is going to look and say, okay, I like the job y'all did. Right? What you going to tell the owner? Yeah, they was doing it wrong. And like, he knows what's going on the work floor. You just work to build a house, man. Verse 5. Unless somebody's going off in the doctrine or defiling the doctrine, right? Or putting their hands on brothers on the workplace, on the work floor. You know, I'm likening the work of the Lord to the work floor because, you know, hey, the scriptures call this a labor of love. You know, you don't put your hands on brothers. If you got an issue with a brother, the scriptures tell you bring it to that brother immediately. If you don't want to listen, you bring 2 or 3 witnesses, right? You don't defile the doctrine by bringing in weird philosophies and ideologies. As long as stuff like that ain't happening, and it's just something you mad because you got to do videos or whatever. Look, man, shut up. All right? It says, verse 5, likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. Yea, all of you be subject to one another, and be clothed with humility. Be subject unto the elder, the one that's put above you, be in your position, and be clothed with humility. Continue, it says, for the Most High resisteth the proud, and giveth grace to the humble. Who cares if you feel you right? Be humble. What Kendrick Lamar say? Be humble. Sit down. Verse 6. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of Yahweh, that he may exalt you in due time. Don't exalt yourself. Don't try to get your point across every time you feel wrong. Right? Verse 7. Casting all your care upon him, for he cared for you. Right? Casting your care upon him, let him take care of it. You just work to build the house. He put you in a certain position. He put you in a certain lot. Right? You mastered that lot to the best of your ability. Okay? And yeah, man. That's the point on that. Basically, man, you know, we here building the spiritual house, one spiritual house. That house is the house of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, the elect. Lord willing, we be part of that number. We know where the truth lies. We know where the true doctrine is. We know who the true doctrine is with and who it's been with for over 30 plus years, man. So continue to follow in those footsteps, walk in those footsteps, and follow those good examples. And don't be fucking distracted and confused with every goddamn gripe somebody that's on the work floor complaining about. Hopefully that was edifying. Until next time, I say shalom.